Built in. Test. They might have a little smart scan objectives.
So
Yeah. It's not like when we saw it at Microsoft Store. It's pretty cool. They can be really fun.
It's just that. I don't know what it's that.
Yeah, it's a projector that has the ability to have like, finger tracking. Yeah, NSCC has a few. That's not like that.
Did you charge that or did you charge that? No, it's the kids are trying to make the sensor work to follow the white line, and it's just being staring at it.
Track it. Yeah, Friday. I could probably stick it home to pick it up.
It's not doing shit.
No, I think it's shipping from synthesizers in transit somewhere in Canada. That's fun. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be good. Oh, you didn't bring it up?
No, you have it's because
Did you pull it up and put it up your machine first?
I can do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You use yours there?
Yes.
Nice.
Do I need both tips?
No, just the social. Okay. This is good.
And we're just waiting for some minutes. We'll work this out. I don't know why.
And before we're showing headset USB okay, sensor, like before we figured out monitor,
Yeah.
just headset HDMI monitor.
Everything
just-
is
True. Are you using this YouTube one now? You're using this YouTube? So I don't need to cancel it? Like, is it gonna start at 7:15?
No, the one you, I think, pre-set up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to start. So, then we'll see in a minute. We'll find out, right?
Yeah. Good.
Is it going to work?
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, see now it's still sensor USB okay. And nothing
Yeah, maybe that.
Right? All the fun things. There's obviously a power cable inside this because these are power adapters, right?
For other countries.
Yeah.
They're really love what comes
I'm wondering if it's not still plugged in at UIT because it wasn't in when I took it. The problem
Oh my god. Sorry, everybody. We'll get better.
it's grab the
Yeah. Great. I'm gonna take my jacket.
Thank you. I'll be back.
I'm gonna write it down. Lots of noise. So you just that means that we can work. Oh yeah, that's a good brand. So what's your name?
For me,
What's your name?
I'm Glenn.
Glenn?
Yeah.
My name is Ellen.
Hi.
Nice to meet
Hi. Do you live here?
you. I live in Sydney.
Okay. What do you do here?
I work with people who have disabilities in Brisbane.
Where is it?
I'm working with people who have disabilities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you're a developer?
Kind of like a program development.
Is that just a hobby or is that your background?
Nah, that's my work now, but I mean, my background is like psychology and MBA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like in the middle.
But you're programming?
No,
Oh,
not
okay.
programming, no.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just a hobby.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's my boyfriend, so.
Oh, okay. That's right.
That's
Yeah,
why-
okay. So you're at the Tech Social then.
Yes, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
That's where we met. Okay.
Yeah, so what are you?
Starting up software.
Okay, what's the name?
Product.
Right. Okay, what is it?
The focus is on location intelligence and big data analytics.
Yeah.
I have a big background, if you will, in telecom. So the application of analytics to telecom using location and spatial analysis is important. So that's what I'm doing here.
Is it based on here?
The company is, well, this is right, yeah. So it's early stage, so I'm just getting off the ground.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of sponsorship through Novacore and joining up with the Propel
Yeah.
initiative here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. You were there?
Yeah.
Okay, how'd you guys do?
Espresso ice. Brilliant, so.
Okay, so we'll be seeing you there.
Yeah.
What was your pitch?
It was espresso ice that,
I like that.
yeah.
I actually did like that a lot, yeah.
We gotta figure out a way to make money. So that's what Propel is gonna help us do.
Is that a coffee app?
Yeah, it's, so you can do like coffee runs, it allows you to send push notifications to your friend who handles the payments and stuff like that. Coffee's so cheap though, hard to put like a feed on there and. But people are lazy, so you're gonna have a market. I know, right? Like you hate to extrapolate your own like personal feelings about it, but if somebody's going on a coffee run and I don't have cash, which I never do, I just am like, no, I can't get one. But if I had to pay like $1 to use an app to do it, I would totally do it. Yeah, I'm lazy and I apparently am stupid enough to have money.
So what's your background? You know what I asked?
I have a background in nonprofit management, and then last year I went back to school to do UIT, and so now I'm doing development.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I work for Central Order.
Go to order?
Yeah.
Is that the pizza guys, whatever it is?
They were Pizza Go, yeah, and so they've kind of pivoted into white label now.
Okay, okay.
So they take their software and they make it look like the restaurants, and so you can do Facebook ordering, have your own branded app, mean, from my perspective, right, I just, I'm a code monkey, right, I don't know what the business is doing, necessarily, but,
But you
it
feed
seems like there's a lot
customers
of, yeah, so I like visiting the apps and focus mostly on mobile development.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of apps, so I'm guessing there's a lot of customers.
Right. So what platform primarily?
Sorry?
What platform are you developing for? iOS and Android?
Yeah, we're using like a hybrid platform called Ionic.
iOS?
Yes. It allows you to develop just in like HTML,
Okay.
and like the platform itself will make it compatible with both. So you only have to develop one app.
So that's your Steam part of it? Or is
No,
it actually like a JVM or something underneath the covers that runs on Android and iOS?
It would run on Android.
Good.
Yeah.
Ironic.
It's sort of like React, but it was before React came around, and so it's a little bit old school now, and you have to pay for the platform if you want to use its newest feature set.
Okay.
So eventually we may switch it over to React, but we started with it's not a really robust set of features you can
Right.
pay for. So.
Right.
If you want to do anything really like special, like with custom features and stuff like that, like custom swipes or any native things on those platforms, you're a little bit limited that way. But
So are you not in conflict of interest then with your work?
I don't think so. Yeah.
You're okay with it?
They're okay.
You're okay with you doing side projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not. They don't get into something that would be like that, like on a cafe. So they like there's sort of beverages and things like that, but it doesn't do notifications. It doesn't have like that social feature that we have.
Okay.
So at some point it might be great to integrate to them. But
Right. Okay.
right now I don't think it's a
Yeah, that's where I would get caught.
Yeah.
Having a side venture is, the city gets to take off, we lose you as an employee.
Yeah.
And
But I think because both of them work at UIT as well, I think they kind of understand that it's really
where's
support
that?
Matt Stewart and Rob Myers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I think they really support people around them.
Okay. All right, so they're running UIT?
Mm.
Or they,
You know, Matt is one of the business instructors,
okay.
and Rob is their program manager, I think. So he does all of the coding.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to reach out to them again. I need some more about that.
Oh, that's fun. We're going to get onto the power adapter for the Rift. It should work without it because it was working without it, but yeah, I don't know what's happening with it. Awesome. So we'll just get started here in a second, and then wait for Lindsay to get back up.
Yeah, it takes a long time to. So, I have like shop on the little schools I want to bring her to.
It's always such a hard thing to deal with. Do you have an iOS developer license? Can you like export to your phone?
Can I export to my phone?
Yes.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, like, do you have an
Oh,
iOS
developer, do
developer
you need
license?
that for Unity?
Well, no, you needed to put it onto your phone. So,
I'm not sure it's yet.
but like Unity takes care of all of it. It builds it for you, and you just open up Xcode and you're done.
Sweet.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
We usually use it similar.
Yeah. Right.
No?
No, the modern one has a pin inside it that doesn't work with this one, and yeah, but like it should work without it. It should.
It
And,
should?
Yeah. Maybe Eric would have some more ideas on like how to get it working without, because I don't recall it work like us having anything plugged into that. Maybe there is, but yeah, fun times.
Well, that portion of the evening
Thanks for going out to Todd and PvP Gamer and getting all that stuff set up. Maybe next time.
We tried.
We tried, definitely, we tried.
Yes. Good old college time.
Yeah. How far are you into the installation, Rachel?
I am on the down.
Nice. That
I'm at
is
2 or 4 though. Anyway, I will be done.
okay. All right. Well, then I'll start off with building programs in Unity. So Unity is an open source 3D editor. It's kind of like the magic sauce that you put everything into: code, animations, 3D modeling, everything. It's the glue, like how VLC Media Player can play a lot of media types. You can throw a lot of stuff at this and typically just opens it up. This is the actual interface. Let's explain some bits to it. Over here is the hierarchy, where you have things that are typically in your scene. Sorry, the contrast ratio is not the greatest on this screen, but you have right now a camera, an event system, which you can't see, directional light, which obviously controls the sky, and the different colors that it has.
Is
And-
the live stream up?
Yep, I'm pretty sure anyways.
The link is
Take a look at my link. It's
on
on the
Facebook?
Facebook page.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's not working.
That's not working?
No, it's showing 47 seconds when you did it earlier. Unless I can. No, it's just.
It says it's live. Can you see that link? Put it on Facebook again. just give me a sidebar here for a second, guys, and I'm just gonna paste that right in there. Post. So I just put that onto my onto the wall, onto the Facebook feed. So you should see that if you go to my Facebook profile. All right. Getting back to our regular scheduled programming. Damn it.
We won't be sending out feedback surveys for this.
Why isn't it working? That doesn't make sense.
It says the 47 seconds.
Wow. Okay, that sucks. I'm sorry. We'll laugh at your pain for a second here, Brian, but sucks to be you. Streaming options, add delay. Nope.
For some reason, my computer just auto-connects to NBCSI instead of the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my phone does that.
Ah, now look at it go.
Look at the speed in which you're able to travel on the net. That's dumb. I'm gonna refresh this page because things might be going crazy. Go to the. You should be able to see it on our YouTube page as well. Oh yeah, it definitely changed links. And I'm gonna post this one in the AR and VR. No, I shouldn't do that.
Just Slack it to
I can't open Slack right now because I'll make business stuff that I can't show. Yeah. I'm just gonna make a comment on my post in the group. Again, I apologize. Okay. Now, can I go back? Can I start this?
Checking this out.
Maybe I didn't read it right, but it said only one person is watching. If that's you, then I don't know why
Yeah.
we're fighting with it.
No, I think it's
It's working now.
okay, good. Okay. I won't touch it. Start up. Okay. So Unity, it's fantastic. It
Oh
Are we good?
I just want to watch the 10-second delay version of what you're doing.
Fantastic, Lindsay. Living the dream here. So, to reiterate what I was saying, Unity is the application in which we build VR applications or 3D applications. The interface here, this is our hierarchy, which is our main kind of way of telling what is in our scene. We can have multiple scenes in our programs, but whatever one we're looking at, this hierarchy will actually kind of detail the systems that are inside it. There are a couple different types of primitives, what they're called, which create pretty well a lot of all the objects that you can have inside a game. There are 3D objects, cubes, spheres, cylinders, planes, all this kind of stuff we'll go into a little more detail in a second. 2D objects, which are sprites, lights, which we'll deal with, audio, UI, and cameras and particles, which are fun. Down here is our all the things that we have in our project files. So here we're able to see some of our assets, like some images, the Google VR SDK, which is very important for us, and then other things that help comprise this scene. So, and then over here we have our inspector, and I'll just show you what that means. So when I click on an object inside the hierarchy, I'm able to bring up what that actually entails. So we have some information here, like the position of it. So this is where it exists in 3D space. So it's at the x-coordinate 0, the z-coordinate 0, so it's pretty much at where it needs to be, the origin of where it is, but it's about 3 meters above the ground. So another thing that kind of tripped me up a while, it's all based upon meters. So if you want something to be sort of centimeters, you just put 0 dot whatever. So it's not in feet, it's not in any weird pixel ratio, it's all done in the nice metric system. Rotation, which we can code in here if we wanted to skew the camera's perspective in any way, and then scale.
Can you change the dimensions of it?
Yep, totally, you can. I'm not going to screw around with it right now because
I meant just like what is measured in. Does it have to be?
No, I think it's stuck to that point. Yeah. So in the camera, we have our background skybox, which is just this material laid on top of it. Culling mask. I'm not going to go into too much details because there's a lot of really in-depth things inside here that we don't really have time to cover. Sphere collider, and then here is some of the Google VR SDK scripts. These just allow for 3D sound, for the viewer to have the 2 rendered camera positions for each eye, and the gaze and physics raycaster are for there's a little dot in this app that allows us to select on different objects inside the scene. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about how we can manipulate objects in here. So I'm going to create a cube, actually. And I'm going to bring it to the same spot the camera is. So I'm going to call 0, 3, 0. And we can just go over here. Just going to raise it up. In this, you have these arrows. These allow you to drag in position, left, right, center, and up and down. This is our box. Now, if I wanted to move it around, there's these tools up here, which allow me to kind of do this positioning. I can grab it from up and down to the sides, or I can grab it from the center and just kind of like, whoa, up and down and around. If I wanted to change the box's rotation, this is what that tool is for. And I can shift it down so it becomes more of a diamond. And then I can use this tool to scale it. So I have a small box or I have a massive box. And we can see that this information in the inspector is kind of changing depending on what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to scroll that down a little bit. I'm actually just going to delete it and make a new cube. And position it as well. 0, 3, 0. Now, there's another concept as well that I want to go over, and that's the idea of prefabs. So, in some of this Udacity stuff that I've had, prefabs are multiple kind of 3D objects or scripts or audio files, anything that's kind of combined into one. It's kind of a really cool way of just grouping things and then saving them for later. I can take these prefabs anywhere, so I'm just going to pull out, take out this, we've got a wall. So you can see I have a rendered wall here with some textures on it, a different kind of 3D physic or object to it. And I can take this and I can plant multiple of them, or I can change it up. And the way you kind of create prefabs is, so I've got this, I'm going to put a material on it. So I want to put this waypoint kind of material on this green box. I just save that. Now I have a box that's green. I can save, go into this and say box. And then all I have to do to create a prefab is drag and drop that into here. And now I have the box inside it. So I'm just going over like how these kind of work, because there isn't too much to making a VR application. The hardest thing actually is just making this camera and kind of just dragging and dropping the scripts that Google's already made for us into this camera, and it just not magically works, but it does most of the work for you. If I actually render this now and play, I should get my game view to come up. And we have, this is the stereoscopic view with two cameras rendered. Google built some controls into it. So if I hit, I think it's Control tilts it, Alt allows you to change your head's perspective. Now, the important thing to note is that Google Cardboard is 3 degrees of freedom. So you can do the tilts, you can do up, down, left, right, but you can't walk. You can't lean in, you can't move through everything. So with cardboard applications, we have to make a means of locomotion if you want your user to move around. And that's actually what this includes, which is the waypoint stuff. And that's actually a prefab that I grabbed from Udacity, which is one of these guys. I'm just going to see where's a good spot to put it.
If you open a prefab and edit it, does it save the changes? Or do you have to add new?
No, you would have to go into the prefab first before you drag it to the screen, edit it there, and then drag it into your screen, and then you have it fixed, or have it saved, kind of, yep.
But it doesn't save it as a prefab?
No, it saves it as a saved prefab. If you wanted to change and make a new one, then you'd grab that out and then modify it in the scene, and then save it back down like a new one. Yep. And I'm just going to delete and hide that for the time being. And so with this waypoint, when we drag it into the screen, there's code that's written on top of it. We won't go into too much detail on how that's written, but we can go over and we can see our gaze little reticle inside there actually picks up that we're looking at it. When we click on it, we move to that location.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So you can see it there. Yeah. Now if we bump out of that, now I'm actually going to take you how to teach you how to like make the gallery itself. So with that, we are going to bring in 2D images and put them into a 3D space. So if you guys have Unity installed, you can go and grab some images and get ready for this. But so what we're going to do is just delete this off of here. And inside the social folder, inside the assets, there's a little picture. It's from Mass Effect because I like Mass Effect. But if we click on it, the inspector changes so we can see information about this image. And one of the information is texture type. And all we need to do is change this to a sprite 2D in UI. And that just changes it into a way that we can drag it onto our screen and show it off, or make it into an asset on our screen. So I'm just going to drag this up, and this should work. Sometimes it's finicky. Oh, right. Sorry. Forgot a really important part. You have to apply the changes after you're done. So that's why I wasn't dragging into the screen. But now if I do this, yay, I've got my massive poster for Mass Effect 3. This is actually huge, right? The scale says it's 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, but really it's well, let's just jump into the VR view. Kind of see. Yeah, I can't really get depth perception on this screen, but if I go up close, it's a really big photo. Really huge. So what we want to do is we want to kind of bring this down to size, and that's just using the scale tool that we have over here, and just grabbing from the center block and just pulling in so we have a much smaller screen, or a much smaller poster here. I can bring this down in. I'm just going to rotate it just a bit. And there we are. Much smaller image that's a little bit easier to see. So you can see this being like, if you want to test out, I want to see how cool this poster looks if it was blown up to a billboard size, or if we wanted to have multiples of these photos just around in different sizes, we can use the same techniques that we've shown here and making them into those little smaller sizes. But this obviously isn't what an art gallery looks like. We want to be somewhere that kind of feels like if you're going to the ROM or out to another museum somewhere else. So let's go make some walls. We can go over here, create a 3D object like a cube. And it rendered pretty much in the same spot where the poster is. That is a sphere, not a cube. I should have realized that sooner. Go away. So zoom out. Hide that for a second. So we want to bring this down to the floor, so it's at 0, because we want to make this into a wall where we're going to hang a lot of photos. This actually is the wrong way to do it, because when we go and we want to scale this wall up, we want to make this longer by pulling this blue one. We want to make it taller because it expands both the top and the bottom at the same rate. So now we've got a large wall. And on that wall, we're going to place our poster. So, we just want to line it up so it actually attaches to the back of the wall, which isn't entirely square, but it's pretty much close enough. Now if we press play, we have a photo next to a wall. And now the last thing is, what if we want to have two pictures on one side of the wall and the other? How does the user get from that point to the other? That's just by adding the waypoints that we've included. And so if we go over here, go to our prefabs, come up here, and I can drop in waypoint. I'm just going to make it the same height as the user, so they're not getting taller and smaller every time they bounce around. So that can be very jarring for somebody. And I'm just going to place them all around, so I can have one there. And the nice thing is I can duplicate the same waypoint and move it over. And then over again. And this one, let's hide that. Now when I start up the scene, let's see, there's the thing. I can jump over to this guy over here. And then I can jump around to the other side by going over this side. And now I'm over here. And so that's the basic means of locomotion inside of Unity for VR. Now, if I wanted to actually export this out, this starter scene that I've put us on has a lot of the export functions already built in for you. But if you were starting fresh, I'll go over some of them. So if we go into build settings, we want to build for iOS just because we're on a Mac. Come over here and in the inspector I can see some of the settings that have already been set up for us. Product name, company name, that can be set by you, no problem. And other settings, there are some things we want to turn off, and I'm just trying to figure out which ones they were again. I believe most of these are off right now, but this is what you kind of want to have set up prior to coming on or sending it to your device. The reason why you want to take down a lot of the quality settings is because you want to save on performance. Frame rate is the most important thing with VR applications, because the higher the frame rate that you have, the less likely you're going to have users that are going to get nauseous using your application. So we turn off things like shadows, reflections, things like to that side. And there's another menu inside here, which is our quality project settings, quality settings. And this is things like we turn off soft particles, real-time reflections. Any lights that we have are typically set to static, so we don't have any dynamic lighting inside it. Shadows, if they are on and have to be there, they're hard. They don't have a lot of cascades, which I mean this one has quite a few, but they're very straight edged kind of thing. And then after that, if you want to run it, after you set up all these settings, you just go build and run, give it a name. I'm just going to call it iOS build, save it. And then this is going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to go out to Xcode. It's going to write us some Objective-C and Swift, and it's just going to have a Xcode project ready for us to actually import it to our phone. And if you guys want to see it, I need a Thunderbolt cable or a cable to plug in my phone. But it's all good. But yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much it that you would need to actually make a VR application, put photos inside it, and create something akin to an art gallery. You have ways of running around and going from art installation to installation, and kind of build things up from there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So did you say you only need to put those waypoints in if you're using like this cardboard? If you're using Oculus, do you need to?
Oculus requires a different setup, which I'm not too sure how they build it, but they would require a script that allows you to move inside it. There would still be coding like the waypoint system, but it would be something different that takes into account either when you have 6 degrees of freedom inside there, or you're using the controllers to teleport yourself to someplace. And yeah, so all this is just for setting up on Google Cardboard, which is probably the easiest way to get a VR application built, running, and out to the public to see. Just because everyone's going to have access to their phone, and for less than, like, it's just basically cardboard, but those units over there that you can just pop open and you can have an actual close enough experience to having something in VR.
Yeah.
It's very economical to build VR applications for this right now. So yeah, was there any other questions that I can ask? Yeah,
Will people like build versions of something that they want to build for the Oculus on Google Cardboard just to kind of
yeah,
stick with it?
absolutely. Yeah, it's very quick to set something up here, like I just kind of showed you guys. You can kind of get a sense of like how things can kind of play out in terms of scale, or if you want to test out some other animations in VR, you can kind of see it from here. Yeah. Anyways, this is my kind of first run at doing a tutorial like this entirely, so I'm open to feedback on how this was run as well. I know the setup was kind of terrible, but here we are. Right?
So were you supposed to open up that social folder right now?
No, inside the social folder there is, if you go into Unity, or go into the Udacity program, I think there's one called,
So you need to import out that? Is that
no, so before you open up Unity, go into the folder, go into assets, go into Udacity, go into scripts, or scenes, sorry, and open up Maze. Or you should see maze.unity. Click on that, and you'll get access to this, what you're seeing right now.
Assets?
So Udacity, go into scenes, maze.unity.
So if you explain the waypoints to me, I kind of just
Yeah, no,
what that was supposed to be.
I kind of did a little bit of hand waving on this, but these waypoints, they have a script on them. It's right down here, actually. That's just basically an event listener. So when we move the camera to be gaze on top of it with the reticle, the camera's actually shooting out kind of like a beam to see what it's hitting or what the person's looking at.
Okay.
If we're looking at this object, this box, then this the camera's going to respond to that.
Okay.
It's going to be like, okay, I'm looking at something that has an action to it. If we click down the trigger on Google Cardboard, then it's going to execute some code that moves the position of the camera to that location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very small, pretty simple, but it's just like, yeah, the most complicated bit is it's detecting when someone's looking at it.
So what you're doing up there in terms of when I'm looking at the poster, let's say.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see through the part of it.
Yeah.
But then I look around and see the waypoint, and that's what you need to move within the scene.
Yep.
To get it. Okay.
Yeah, so you can kind of guide your users around using the system. It's one way of transporting people. I've seen other ones where you physically move up and down, and it's using the accelerometer data from your phone to move you. That's kind of hit and miss in terms of the user experience there.
Okay.
Let's see, there's other ways like teleportation, where it uses the same kind of big gaze function, but when you're looking down at the ground, it opens up a little circle that says like, okay, when you're looking at this spot, I'm going to move you there when you press down on the trigger.
Okay.
And kind of gives the user a little more freedom to go around without moving themselves or clicking on labels.
Okay.
I think this is done. Just indexing files.
Yes, too.
Is yours still done?
Mine says that it's open project and a non-matching editor.
Oh, shoot. Let's continue.
I never saw it before. Just like, must have quit.
Everything's broken. Why? Cool. And it's still going to index for a little while, but once it's done, I'll throw it into a cardboard bin and get it up. What about yours? It's taking a while.
White source is huge. This thing is so huge. It's not like yours is like part of it.
Yeah.
Can I change it?
Well, I think you probably just zoomed in too much.
Oh, there's no button.
Well, you can't do it right now because that's loading, but you can use the arrow keys to actually move yourself out and in.
Over there.
Yeah. There's also, if you break that, you can move the camera to look up in different ways.
White's pink.
I don't think that means there's some kind of error if you remember the mesh, unless.
No, the wall itself is actually fine.
But this is the wall. This is the background.
No, but this wall has a texture on it that is pink. Whatever this element is.
Okay, it is pink. But it's not pink on yours. Can I change the color?
Yes, yeah. The way you create new materials is you just,
Oh, I never created it.
Yeah. and then you can select the photo inside there and have it all work.
It's gonna be but, how do you move around while playing here?
Awesome. So, this is the problem.
Maybe I didn't run enough shit. I can just pick the basic components.
You got it, but the problem is just yeah, let's start up a new one. Project.
I didn't see.
Yeah, just click on the root level. So I think the only things we're going to want to do is we want to copy over all of the scripts for the Google Cardboard stuff. So if you go over just to the old assets folder and grab everything that's in the Google Cardboard or Google VR folder and just move it over to your assets folder. I think you're going to have the same issue with
Exit and
Just the Google VR phone?
and you'd add some one as well. Yeah, you want to get those prefabs for the waypoint.
What is this?
That looks like it.
That is. That's the one.
Looks like you said the same.
I don't know.
That's cool. It's got a little stuff in it.
So if I need to put a picture, I go to assets here, the wall. There's a picture. Import.
This is the actual VSM. This is actually supposed to be, this is a preview one I did. But you have everything here. So we're just gonna, we're going to delete some of these photos for you, which no longer exist.
Let's see.
Let's see if it actually will remember that. We hit this play button, it goes through and actually grab what the assets and tries to play with it. So, yeah, the image.
So usually just do the wall, put a picture on the wall.
And throw it in. So you take this and change it to be a spray. Focus spray. And then just go down to the bottom and hit apply. And now you should be able to drag that to the scene. And actually, if you drag it onto a 3D object, it becomes the material for that 3D object. So it wraps itself around it. If you want it to just be an image by itself, you just drag it over to the sky, so it's not on top of it, and now you have one that's in there.
So it's different things, right?
So one's bound to the 3D rectangle that's
Yeah.
behind it, and this one is just by itself, not attached to anything. So the scale isn't dictated to a 3D kind of map. You can do some of the stuff that just seems to be So if you want to get more photos in there, just download them to your computer and then drag them into this spot here. Or put them into this folder in the file system.
And you do the same thing inside up here.
Yeah, you have to, once you drag in JPEG or PNGs, you have to make them into sprites. But once you do that, then everything is good. Sweet.
Is that there?
I think so. Yeah. It would fail because it didn't have the right stuff.
pretty. I guess there's just no way to like zoom around the.
It's a little easier with an actual mouse. So if you
So my shit's just like.
I need something like that.
Because I keep pressing these things, and so I'm getting myself.
Okay.
Just
So
try.
what are you pressing?
I'm holding down, making it right click.
Alright.
This is weird. It's like a
That's a little easier. I can see all the indexes.
it feels symmetric. Okay.
How do you run that meeting?
Like-
It feels weird.
It's like 2D.
No, because you can see all of that.
I'll compile. This is why I had it's the VR monsters.
That's something you need to have installed.
It's all in the profiles.
Oh, what's that one? But I didn't see the phone number. Well, maybe it was there. But yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I look at it. It's pretty different stuff to see.
Usually go to Google and see if you find the SDK. Then you can just Google Hardware SDK. You don't have to install like a plugin on Unity or anything this way. They're really not made for like doing 3D editing, right? See if we can do this right. So,
I don't have the data.
no.
No.
Choosing that. Oh, this means to download Unity entirely, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think you can click off different things. Or it might be master.
But you already have it installed. I know you can download more things, but you don't get that screen back.
It's really chill. It's like a download folder.
Yeah, it's and it has everything in it. I don't know how to get access.
It's still not unlocked.
No, you have to position it.
So, create a wall? How much do that?
So right click down here, just off of anything. You can create a 3D object.
It's locked, right?
You want to create a cube. And I'm going to bring that cube over.
Where's the key?
So
Oh, no, right here.
I'm going to glue it up first. I mean, bring it right here. I'm going to use this tool over here. And drag it from I don't think so. It would be labeled Google Cardboard or Google VR. And there's probably a plugin on the Cardboard website. That we can plug.
Maybe a little bit bigger, it's not too big, 26 feet. Yeah, you can see on the news, it's wide, it's not all this. That seems that it's how long it is. Now we want to kind of position it a little bit better. Drag it up. There's one other thing. We place the cube inside the image. So we want to just click on that, click and hold. Just click, so drag it above between Mass Effect and line. Yeah, so you get that line in there. Now it's going to be its own object. So it isn't bound to the image.
Yeah.
So that image isn't going to be stored and changed when we modify the cube.
Why are you putting the two?
So it's not grouped inside it. Because we can group objects together, which sometimes is beneficial, but in this case it's not.
Yeah.
So now you have a wall that's on its own.
And then put it on.
You can put a picture on the wall itself, or you can position the picture so it kind of rests against the wall.
That's the wall.
Yep.
And if I just do this, it's different.
Yep. So if you want to get rid of the image on the cube you just made,
Yeah.
click on the cube.
This one.
And this one.
And delete it.
So you drag your image onto this.
This one.
So you've already made your cube here.
Mhm.
And the cube has a shape on it here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on this, sorry, click on the little gear there, you can reset,
Mm-hmm.
and that turns back to white.
Okay.
And now if you just drag the photo out onto the sky. Yep. You can
Stop.
Yep. There you go.
Ooh, Facebook games.
And now you're able to kind of
What?
manipulate that.
But that's not our wall.
No, it's
Is
not.
that
You're gonna have to
games thing like that?
and that position so you can kind of see the wall a little better.
Yeah.
What's up, some front
The
of
wall's
walls?
there, right?
Why I agree, but
I don't put that thing on the wall because the good wall for it.
So
I'm confused, like, you do the wall, you want to put a picture on the wall, so what do you need pictures?
well, we can't drag the picture onto the wall because that doesn't have a function where it makes the picture the actual mesh that goes around that wall. What we have to do is bring in the picture as the actual element in our hierarchy. And then what we have to do is then position this so it rests against the wall.
Okay.
So what you need to do is you need to rotate this photo and then push it back so it's against the wall. So if you click on this,
Mhm.
can you see that green line there? You just click and drag. You can turn it 90 degrees, yeah? A little bit more. A little more. There we go. And now if you click on this, you can now push that back to the arrow. Just to the point where it's disappearing into the wall. Bring it forward, push down. There you go. Now you want to probably make it a little bit smaller so it's into the walls, right? You can see the wall now. And then just click on the scale. Grab from the center. Do a little bit of offset. Not that one, but you have to click on the spool to do the position. So yeah, they operate with 3 different layers, right? Oh, no, that one. You just want to. Now it's too close to. You have to remember you're still also in 3D space, right? You move around the scene, right? The arrow buttons. So if you get really close to it, you can see whether or not it's connected to the wall. So you got some look at that. Let's see if we can find it. It's weird. You can't move forward. No, it's just not working. Let's see. It's- It's gone.
Yeah, that's
Alright, well, let's position back to. There we are. So now you can position it against the wall. That's a little bit. Just play around with it. And, you know, our position's done.
Are you thinking of doing a few of these?
Sorry?
Are you thinking of doing a few of these meetups?
Yeah, well, I'll do another one next month. That's going to be a little bit more words.
No, that's fine, no.
But, yeah,
Doing it on the fly is good enough for me.
next month is probably going to be a little more in depth. I'm probably going to go into a little coding into it. So,
Like writing scripts and
yeah, look, we're going to do like a game kind of. I'm not too sure what kind of game, but we'll do something that kind of like you can figure out how to manipulate the waypoint system, make your own kind of scripts onto different objects, so when you interact with them, they do something, and our end goals of teaching people.
so Unity is an open source program?
No, it's a for-profit company, but like everything that they do is open. You can get the system for free, you can use it, and to publish with it, so long as you're making under 100K a year, then you can use it for free and publish money off of it.
Okay.
And then when you give us $50 a month.
And is there a marketplace then for, as an example, your custom, what do we call
Presets? Or no?
it? Yeah, assets.
Yeah, so there is actually an entire asset store that you can access on here.
Do you need to purchase them?
You can purchase things.
So do they have the basic ones already?
They have a lot of basic things, so you can get like houses and other like architecture stuff. You can get characters, models, animations. Entire games are actually available on that asset store. So you just go buy it, modify it, and push it out.
So you get the source for all those. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is it. It gives you a lot of different tools to use. I'm not too sure if it works Windows, PC, or Mac and PC exclusively, if it works on those things, but if you have a PC, you're fine with all of this stuff. Most of what you would need, yeah, you can probably find them here if you want some extra stuff. If not, you can go on Fiverr and probably pay someone $20 to build a model for you.
I'm always interested more in, the commercial applications that we can build around this.
I see.
I'm curious about.
Yeah, no, so the Asset Store is one, obviously the iOS and Google Play Store is another.
Okay.
There's something called Viveport, which the HTC Vive has as a marketplace for games built for that platform,
Okay.
or software. And then there's Steam, which would be the other place that you can sell software on.
So what's the relationship between Unity and Steam?
There's no relationship formally between the two, because Steam, the only thing it's kind of selling is access to games that are written for Windows or Mac.
So Steam is a marketplace.
It is.
Right. But
Yep.
whatever tool you use,
Doesn't
just
matter.
publish it to Steam.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an application process through that to get games and software onto it.
Okay.
There's something called Steam Greenlight, and it's pretty easy to get on, or some things onto it.
Okay. I thought there was a Steam engine or something like that.
Yeah, there's the, it's called the Source Engine.
What is that then?
It's another game, kind of like, it's not as fleshed out as this is, but you can build games on top of it.
Okay.
That you can kind of get some. So it's pretty old at this point. I don't know how many updates have been with it, but the last time I checked was about 2012. So yeah,
Are most people that look at Unity now then?
it's two different ones. It's Unity or it's the Unreal Engine,
Right. Okay.
and both operate kind of the same way. It's free for hobbyists and low-income developers.
Okay.
And then once you get to a certain market threshold, then it starts costing per seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's primarily used for games. People develop
Primarily.
games and scenes.
Yeah, Unity is being used. It's primarily for games, but there is productivity tools that you can probably make with it as well. In fact, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you aware of anyone doing that?
The only productivity tool I know for VR right now that is built through Unity is this thing called it's called Big Screen, and it's a way that you can actually sit down with an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive in this kind of mocked up office or living room, and you can have other people around you with the same thing. It's kind of like a social VR experience,
Okay.
but it was designed for programmers that are working remotely to all meet together and be able to share their screens. So it's kind of like a conference application.
But you're virtually meeting, or you actually are in the same room, but you're sharing
You're-
your screen?
No, you're virtually in the same spot. So you could be here in Sydney and have people in Toronto, and you could meet together in a virtual room and kind of work together in the same spot. Weird, right?
Yeah, I'm turning my head around that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a definite problem that could be nice to solve, well. but
Yeah,
Like I just use Skype for screen sharing, so I'm fine with that.
sure. But I mean, there's definitely applications in the architectural field where it's
Yeah.
just like you build something in CAD, you drag it into Unity, and model up in some ways, and then you walk through your build, essentially.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What about things like, Pokemon Go, is that, that's not considered virtual reality, it's augmented reality?
Yeah.
Does Unity play in that space too?
Yeah, I think Pokemon Go is actually built in Unity.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can get plugins and things like that to help build some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And the AR tech that they were using is very, very low tech. I don't even think it really uses any kind of image recognition. All it does is detect the what state the phone is at, like if it's level or not,
Right.
and then it kind of makes a plane for the Pokemon to kind of sit on that is close enough to the ground that it just kind of looks like it.
Okay. But it's aware of location, so.
Yeah, that part is-
viewing.
Yeah, so you're able to kind of get your GPS data, but it's not doing any image recognition from how I understand it.
No, but I mean, it's just overlaying
Yep.
transparency or whatever.
Yeah,
on
totally.
a real scene.
Yeah.
That I find interesting from an application standpoint.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's that's pretty. I would say easier to do than some forms of augmented reality, because you're just taking the background information of the camera and you're just putting your data on top of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think applications for that then.
Hmm.
When you say low tech, I like that.
It's getting easier to do a little bit more interesting things like depth perception and object recognition.
Right.
There are object recognition APIs, like I think Watson does it, and Google has some things like that out there.
Right.
where you can send it a JPEG or a bitmap, and it will define it for you. This is the color blue, it is a pumpkin, or this is a pool, that kind of stuff. I'm not too sure because I haven't looked too deeply into it, but I did watch a keynote last night that says they have these processes available.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating field, right? And it's only getting more and more interesting as days go by.
okay. I'll read up more, so a little bit more intelligent, if you will, next time we read.
Yeah. Well, did you read at the Tech Social?
I was, yeah.
So
That's what got me interested in this topic.
nice.
So it's not so much the virtual reality side of it. The augmented reality is interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and gaming is not in my scope. But what I'm doing in terms of analytics, I do think that from a visualization standpoint, it gives you a lot of I'll use degrees of freedom to look at data in different ways.
Yeah.
Especially location data.
Yep.
And that's what my focus is. Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the augmented reality side of things is really you could do so much with it productivity wise, you know. And one of the things I just want is to get rid of this screen kind of thing, and just have my work in front of me. But yeah, no, it's fun.
Okay. Okay. I'll take that away with me for now.
Yeah, no. If you have any other questions, just feel free to reach out to us and
Okay.
you know, go on to other meetups and have fun.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few things we're looking at. Cool. Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
No worries. Talk to you later, right?
See you.
So it says for cardboard applications,
Mm.
we need 5.6 for data.
Really?
And it says for iOS
Why is it
1. Well, I mean, maybe it's cardboard for iOS.
working?
Maybe.
They do cardboard. Oh, we just done that. Fantastic. What about this SDK though? Awesome! We're definitely killing it today, aren't we?
It's a good thing to always remember. Keep reading, Rachel.
That's not what we do.
How to get there? That's a good walk.
Let's put it on the.
And like this. And then I'm gonna get there.
Oh, you have to want to turn your camera so right up. And you can see the routine. You just go straight through. You can go straight through objects, so. I mean, you want to make sure you're not inside an object when it happens, but yeah. Or when you stop, anyways.
I'm gonna play, when I click on play. So weird attitude.
This behind this,
I'm
right?
gonna do that. You see how you do that when you're scanning?
No. So if you pull that.
I did something. Oh, no.
I'll be over there in a second.
I gotta leave in 2 minutes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But you guys don't have to leave. Rachel has to leave.
It's all good? Okay, now.
you want your initial start point to be on this.
Yeah.
To be on that, with the blue arrow, go forward. Oh no, you have to get on the side of it. And then this one. And then pull it the other way. so you can see where your parents and then
Oh, I see.
so
Now it's in between, right?
and now if you press play, you should be able to. And now press control, I
Rachel, you have your key for the outside door?
Yeah, but it has never worked.
It never worked. Okay.
I'll think that I can lock.
What's that?
I can lock the door.
The one downstairs.
Does it say